I'm going to write some code in my Photos table view controller to create some photo objects. So jump over into Photos table view controller.m. And this is where I've already defined an NS mutable array that's going to hold those. And then I'll come down into my viewDidLoad. The array is declared but doesn't exist, so I better create it. Just the standard alloc init. This is a mutable array, so I can add to it piece by piece. So create some code to create that first object. Just alloc and init it, and I'm going to use .syntax to just give it a few values for a name, a file name, and some notes. Finally, I'll add it to the array. The only thing I need to be really careful with here is making sure that the file name property for each of these matches the entry that I have in the asset catalog. Now, just something worth pointing out, if you're concerned about the fact that all I'm doing is reallocating the object every time, so I'm using the same name for it, know that when I created it the first time, declared it and created it, I then added it to the photos array, the array will hold on to that original object. So effectively, when I create this new one the second time, I'm just going to create a new pointer to a new object, but the existing one will still be sitting in the array. All right, so I have my objects, but nothing loading them into my table view. But because I did create this file as inheriting from UI table view, Xcode has given me some provided methods that I can just fill out. If I use the jump bar, I'm currently in viewDidLoad, but I should see that I do have several of the table view data source methods. I do have number of sections in table view. It's provided me with a warning here that I haven't returned the number of sections. This will just be 1. There's only 1 section in the table view. Alternatively, I could actually just delete the entire method because 1 is the default. I'll leave it as is. Next, we have another warning that was added by Xcode here that we're not returning anything yet. This is table view number of rows in section. So how many rows do I have? Well, I could say 5, but probably a better way to do it is just say that the number of rows I have here is just however many are in the array, so photos.count. I drop down into the next method, table view cell for row at index path. What is in each row? This is the method that will be called multiple times, well, in our case, 5 times, based on however many are in the array. So this is first creating a string for the cell identifier. That's that reusable identifier that we have on table view cells, and then it is calling that, dequeuing a reusable cell, which will create a new one if one doesn't exist. Something very important that I need to do, because we are using this cell with an uppercase C for the reusable identifier, I better jump across to the storyboard, click on that cell, and just check to see if it has a reuse identifier, because it needs to have one. So with the cell selected in my table view, open up the utilities panel, we're going to the attributes inspector. Yep, it doesn't have one. I need this to match what's in my code, which was in this case cell with an uppercase C. Back over into the code. This should now work. If I hadn't done that, we'd likely have problems. Then we configure the cell. So I'll create a pointer to a photo object and just use the current index path row to access the photos array to find out what that object is at position 0, then at position 1, then at position 2, and so on, so I can then set the text of the row to whatever the name of the current object is. Well, let's try it. Build has succeeded, and we are indeed loading in the information from those objects. We even get the disclosure signal here. But if I click on one of these, we are segueing to the next screen, but nothing's happening. So next, we need to start passing these photo objects between the different scenes.